So thank you so much for coming. We're going to jump through today and talking about the amazing opportunity that the government has put together for digital adoption programming. So we are going to spend a few minutes going into a deep dive about the opportunity, what it is, how you qualify for it as an advisor, what it means for your clients, what it means for you, and how you could take advantage of it. And then we're going to see whether or not it makes sense for us to continue the conversation at the very end, okay?
Okay, really quickly, let's talk a little bit about the opportunity, digital transformation as the government has put out there. What they really want is for us to help small and medium-sized businesses, which they call any business that's over $500,000, pretty much, in Canada, with their digital transformation, because Canada is a laggard in this area. Out of all the G7 countries, Canada ranks last when it comes to digital transformation in the small and medium-sized businesses, actually even in the large businesses. So this funding was to really directly address that particular issue of looking at a small and medium-sized business's business strategy, what their goals were, what's going on in the industry, and helping them come up with a digital plan, taking a look at what they already have from a technology perspective and what they would need to add in over the next couple of years in order to meet their goals. So that's what this digital transformation plan is trying to accomplish. This is what the program is trying to accomplish. And what we know is here in Canada that at least 54% of businesses have said that they are going to spend $50,000 or more on digital transformation in 2022. Like, this is already baked into the plan, something that they know that they need to do. And that digital transformation will look like, how do we, look external to our clients, right? How do we digitize our CRMs, our client relationships, our e-commerce, et cetera? It might be internal, it might be like an ERP, it might be financials, it might be managing employees, it might be the supply chain, whatever it is. But they are looking at ways to invest in their technology infrastructure in order to grow. So that's really good news for all of us. And the digital adoption plan really is I think it's an opportunity to have this conversation with these companies to do the strategy piece of it. So the Canada Digital Adoption Plan, as I mentioned, has two pieces to it. One is called Grow Your Business. That's already subscribed. So big organizations like the Ontario Chamber of Commerce and a couple of others are doing that. Hi.
Hello.
Yes, hi there. Okay. If I could ask you to mute, that would be great. Okay. And so that's not the opportunity that we're talking about. Those are for companies under $500,000. And some of the big organizations are doing programs for smaller businesses. The program we're going to focus on is called Boost Your Business Technology. And that is the program that's for small and medium-sized businesses over $500,000. And this is where they're looking for digital advisors to grow their business. So what exactly is it? The government is doing three things. They're giving $15,000 as a grant towards building a digital adoption plan to an SME over $500,000 who is a for-profit organization. Okay. So it's 90% up to $15,000. So typically a plan would be about $17,000 or $18,000, and they would get $15,000 back out of that. Some of the larger organizations, their digital adoption plans will be bigger, but the maximum they can claim back is $15,000. Okay, so that is what the opportunity is for them. But what we know, and I will show you very shortly, one of the results of the digital adoption program, so one of the deliverables is to provide a project plan with specific project details for them and timelines. So not about particular products, but about what the project should look like. And what we know is that people are really, you're going to be in line to take advantage of some of those projects that come out of the back end. So out of the digital adoption program, they get this $15,000 grant. They get access to up to $100,000 of interest-free loans from the BDC, and they got access to a student, a grant for a student to help them implement it. So there's lots of goodies for companies that go through this plan. But for you as an advisor, it's really it's a great opportunity to get out in front of the customers that you want to get out in front of. All right, as long as they meet those two criteria. They're for profit, they're based in Canada, and they have over $500,000 of revenue. So not only are you going to make the money, which is pure consulting business on doing these digital adoption plans, but there's always spin-off business that comes out afterwards, and I'll show you that. And because not everyone knows everything. So if you're going to go into a client and they need an ERP solution, you may not do that, right? But you will bring in a partner that does that. And then there's going to be like referral arrangements that you can put together to bring in other vendors after you've done the plan. So there's really a great opportunity after you've done the plan. So the plan's really opening the door to you having a very strategic, long-lasting relationship with clients. Any questions about that and how it works? Or is that, hopefully it's clear. Okay, so just put in the chat if you have anything. All right, but the bottom line is that the opportunity for advisors is really great. When we look at that, for the federal budget said it's $4 billion, okay? 1.4 billion of that, according to the BDC, is going towards this digital advisor program. All right, 1.4 billion. And at $15,000 a plan, right? We're somewhere at around 77,000 to 80,000 plans that need to be done over the next 4 years. Like that's a lot of plans, right? Like that's that's a lot of work that needs to be done. And you know, they're going to need thousands of advisors involved in this process in order to meet that goal. So let's just say there's about 20,000 plans that's needed per year in order to use up the full budget that they have. So out of that $4 billion, 1.4 is just for plans, and then the other is for the loans and for the other programs, right? So what does that opportunity potentially mean for you? And what we, in our conversations and working with people in the channel, look, if you're making on average $18,000 per plan, right? So it's just bare bones plan, and you do 5 a year, this is what the possibility is, right? It's an extra $250,000, $270,000 potential of business for you. If you're doing 10 plans or 20 plans, you can see how that can start scaling up for you. So this is a really great, it's just to put it in perspective, right? It's not only about making that consulting revenue, it is all the things that come afterwards that open door, the conversations that generate, and all the follow-on business that will come from doing the digital adoption planning. The question I have from James is, are companies able to access the funding for implementation of digital adoption tools and technology? No. So the BDC offers, after you do, this is just for the strategy plan. That's what the $15,000 is. It's not for any technology. So it's only strategy. It's only the planning piece. They will, after you have submitted the plan successfully to, your client will take that plan, submit it into their portal. They'll get their $15,000 back, and then they'll get access to a business loan from the BDC if they need it, right? So an interest-free loan. And so that's a separate topic, but the business development bank, they get kind of based on their revenue, they'll get between $25,000 and $100,000 interest-free for 5 years, which is pretty nice. A loan to execute the technology that's in this plan. Okay, so it's really, they're trying to make it as streamlined as they can for companies to say, yes, okay, if you're $5 million of revenue, you can get 100,000, like whatever you have in that plan. If it's more around $100,000, you can get a loan to do that right away. So that's kind of how they've worked it out. I think it's a really interesting, kind of a well thought out program. But the digital adoption advisors have a great opportunities. So Naresh asked a question: what are the chances that the strategy will be rejected? The reason why we know, once you go through and once you become certified as an advisor, you will understand what is required to put into a plan, so it won't be rejected, right? Your clients have to go in, they have to go in and get approved first, and I'm going to explain this all in a second. So they have to be approved before they can start working with you. And you as an advisor have to be approved before you can start working with your client, okay? So let's just jump into, like, what does that mean, right? What does that mean to become certified? But just a really quick intro for myself, because I haven't really done that. Hi, Marguerite. I've been working with technology companies for quite a long time. I've been in the business. We've been working in the channel for many years, and where we see this as a really great opportunity. Really something that we haven't seen in a very long time, as a way for the channel to really grow in their influence with the clients. So we are really supporting of it. We ourselves have applied to become a digital advisor because we believe that, well, we know that there's need for it, and there's a need for anybody who works in the digital space to take on this opportunity. All right. So that's a little bit about us. Our focus is definitely on the digital marketing side of things, e-commerce, CRM, that kind of pieces. But because we do work in the channel, that's what we're here to talk to you guys about, because we believe that this opportunity is actually really a great fit for people who are in the channel. So today we're going to just talk about a couple of different things, what you need to do to get certified in the program. It's not focused only on tech companies, by the way. It's anyone who's involved with digital transformation. So people who are in the channel are really well suited because you're already delivering technology solutions for your clients, right? But it could be anyone who's involved in any kind of digital transformation that can come in and get certified on this program. So we're going to talk about what it means to get certified, what they're asking for. And we're going to talk about what some of our clients are doing, because even though this program gives a free grant, you still have to sell it, right? You still have to go in front of your clients and explain it to them. And you still have to go through that whole sales process. And we're going to talk about what it means to deliver these plans. And so we'll talk about that over the next little period of time. So let's jump into certification. Yep. One slide. So the certification journey looks like this. Whoops, go back. If you have been on the CDAP website, you can just Google it if you need to, or we could provide you with a link if you want. There'll be a block that says, apply to become a CDAP advisor. And there's going to be a whole bunch of qualifications that they're going to ask you for. So you have to fill out an online application. And because the queue is so long, like we've been in the queue for like 3 months now, all right, but the queue is so long that they are going to ask you for a couple of things. So there's an online application, they get your information, they review it, and then they send you an email. And they ask you in the email for your resume, for an example of digital adoption planning, okay, that you have done that meets their standards, articles of incorporation, business, typical stuff, and 2 references of work that you've done to do digital transformation. So, we want to talk a little bit about that, right? What does that exactly look like? And, if you've done some work in digital transformation, how can you make sure that it aligns with what they're asking for? And these are some of the eligibility requirements. That's right on their website, right? You need to have people who have experience in digital transformation, or who have a business or technology background working in your business. So it could be yourself or employees. You need to be able to say that you've got 5 years of experience working within digital business strategies, doing that kind of thing for your clients, that you have experience with digital technology and solution selection. So if you've ever helped a client select a different type of technology, then you qualify, basically, right? Select cybersecurity software, select whatever it is, okay, ERP software, then this is what they're looking for. And they're also looking to make sure that you have a compliant process, which means that they've listed a number of things that you need to put into a digital adoption plan, some of which you may have done in the past, some of which you may not have. So I'm going to just run through that really quickly on what those things look like. So from a digital adoption plan, what we've done is we have modified an infotech template on digital adoption, and we've added in the additional criteria that you need to do to have a compliant process for CDAP. So I'm just going to walk through that really quickly with you. So you can determine and think about, hey, have I done this before? Do I need to, maybe add some things into the digital transformation plans? All right, so you're going to need to be able to show that you've done something like this to become a certified digital adoption planner, okay? So that's why I want to walk through this with you. So at a high level, you're going to be talking to clients, you're going to be asking them about their business strategy, reviewing their business strategy, reviewing their competition, taking a look at the industry trends, what's driving the industry. And then you're going to be mapping that to where they already are and what they already have in place from a technology perspective, right? So you're going to be doing those two things. You have to have reviewed on all of these different pieces and put them in place in the plan, okay? So you have to be able to show that you've asked these business questions, you've done the reviews of their business direction, the industry direction, and now you're going to be ready to go into recommendation mode. So in that, you've taken a look at what's going on in their industry, you've done this horizon scanning, and you've got to map that. Then you go into a journey map. So you select one area of their business that they feel is a priority for digitization or digital transformation. So some people it's e-commerce, some people it's, internal, productivity work. Some people it's a supply chain, whatever it might be. And so you have to map out all the different steps of what they would need to do to improve in that particular area. Then you take a look at all of the different types of opportunities that they have to improve in that particular area of their journey map. You break it down into projects, and then you rank those projects and price those projects and put them into a project plan. So at the end of the day, this roadmap, which says, these are the opportunities, they're connected into your journey, they're connected into the business direction, they're connected into what's going on in the industry. This is what you need to do. This is our recommendation of what you need to do in order to become competitive in your industry. This is the price lot, this is the price points, and this is the timelines. So it's really, from your perspective, this is your opportunity to be very strategic with your client and say, before you do this, you need to do these other things, right? And this is what the government is asking as a digital transformation plan that you present to the clients as a roadmap for them. So after you have this, after you deliver this, you have a natural next conversation, which is, let's discuss implementing what's in the plan, right? And that's really where the relationship continues to grow with your clients. Any questions on that before I move on? Is this familiar for everyone? Has everyone done this before with their clients? Any questions? Yes, perfect. Okay, thank you. So let's talk a little bit about that because, okay, we got somebody in the chat. Tom, did you have another question? You said, can I ask this question again? Is this focused on tech companies? No, it is not focused about tech companies. It's any small and medium-sized business.
Great, thank you. Okay.
Anywhere across Canada. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But as a digital advisor, we think that people in the channel are best suited to actually do this work because you already have a background in digital technology, if that makes sense, right? And a broad array of digital technology because you're already helping your clients in this area. So sometimes you just may need to add in some of the additional work that the digital adoption program is asking you for, which is maybe doing that horizon scanning, maybe doing some of the competitive review and connecting the business strategy into their technology strategy. All right. And that is what they consider a compliant process. So this is a great opportunity for clients to get that kind of strategic thinking into their business and really demonstrate an ROI of doing the digital transformations, right? Really important, great opportunity for them. But like everything else, you still have to sell it, right? Most people were not waking up in the morning saying, hey, I need to do a digital transformation today, right? Even though it's free, even though there's a grant, even though it's all of these goodies that the government's giving them, you still have to go and explain it to them, and you still have to get it in front of your clients. You still have to take them through a sales cycle in order to take advantage of this, right? And that's really where, we see those two things happening. You have to become certified, but you also have to go out and talk to your clients about it. You can't do one or the other. You really have to do both, right? You need to be finding out of the million small and medium-sized businesses across Canada, right? Of which there's got to be about 80,000 of them that get funded to do this digital transformation work? Who are the ones that qualify, that are ready and willing to invest in this type of process? And invest the time that's needed. And that's really where I think you guys come in, and making a decision and deciding what sectors you want to work in, who has the best chance of not only doing the digital adoption plan, but has the time and money and the impetus to implement the plan at the back end, right? Because you're really interested in a long-term relationship. So that's really what we help people with. And if you don't mind, I'll just spend really quick. I won't dive into this, but because we are doing this not only for ourselves, but for some other clients, you've got to do this. It's marketing 101. You've got to go out to the market. You've got to tell them that what CDAP actually is, what it means for their business. You've got to reach them. You've got to get into conversations, discovery conversations with them, where you're explaining how this works, what the ROI looks like, really holding their hand through the process and getting them into that first engagement with you, right? So that's really what we suggest. And this is kind of like a marketing piece that most people will do. And this is what we help people with. So for them, for your clients, what they have to do, so this is Burley from the CDAP website. You have to explain to them who qualifies, how it works. You have to help them get through the portal. And you have to help them qualify. And sorry, Peter, you had asked a question here about the summary, about that template. So the template was customized based on the requirements that was indicated from the CDAP website about what they consider an eligible, compliant digital adoption plan. All right. So you have to have all of those things. You'll see it on their, you can scroll through their website and take a look at it. It's just that we have it in more of a process, okay, which is the next piece of this. How do you do that? So what they have on the website is what the outcomes need to be, and what we've done is said, hey, this is how we talk to our clients about it. This is the format that we will give them so they can submit it for their funding, for the grants. Okay. So yes, MSPs and people in the channel, anybody who does any kind of technology implementations really should be interested in this program for all the reasons I've talked about. It is an opening to a conversation with your clients. They get a chance not only for that $15,000, which is great for their planning, but also become available for the other things, the students funding and those interest-free loans at the back end. So it's a great opportunity for them, but you know what, you still have to walk them through it, right? Now, typically, if a client just, somebody says, hey, I've heard about the CDAP program, and they go in to the portal, they sign up, they get through that first hurdle, they have to do a digital needs assessment. And everyone who is qualified and becomes a certified advisor goes into the CDAP digital marketplace. So if somebody knows you, then it's great because they don't have to go shopping. But if they don't know you, there's going to be, right now, I think there's probably about 300 in there now, and a whole bunch are in the queue. So maybe about 1,200 in total. That's what we heard from the BDC recently. People who kind of are in the queue to become a digital advisor. Even with 1,200, I mean, it's just not enough. I mean, that's just not, it's not going to meet the need. So there's lots of room for more. But if this customer just comes in off the street, they go in, they fill out the application, they do the digital needs assessment. Now they've got to go and shop and talk to a whole bunch of advisors in the marketplace. They've got to interview them, negotiate with them, et cetera, get the plan done, submit it for the reimbursement, et cetera, right? Now, the opportunity that you have is to kind of eliminate that for your clients. You can just, you're talking to them, you're going to introduce opportunity to them, and you're going to help them get through this. So doing that first and second step, if they have guidance to do it, would probably just take maybe an hour and a half. The digital needs assessment's about 20 to 30 minutes. Getting through the CDAP application, if they have everything ready, it could be 15 minutes to half an hour. So really, if you walk them through it, they can get through this relatively quickly, and then they can start working with you. So the biggest hurdle that we see people having is that they have to connect this account with their CRA account. So anyway, that's technical piece. We can support that. You can support that with your clients. what's nice about this is if you have brought this opportunity to them, they don't have to go into the marketplace and try and interview, people and find them, etc. They feel comfortable working with you, and that's a benefit to them, and it's also a benefit to you. Okay. We have done some of this work with a client of ours out of Ottawa, and they're really working with us on the pilot of the CDAP program, which is great. They've been in business for over 30 years, and we've actually helped them to start getting in front of clients to talk about the CDAP opportunity. So that is really great. So how's everyone feeling about that? Everyone's good with it? Makes sense, right? This is how you're going to support your clients. You have got to go out, you've got to talk to them about it, introduce them, walk them through the process, right? In order to take advantage of it. Okay. And so the last thing here that we see is that, as you see from when I showed you what's inside a digital adoption program that's compliant for this certification, it may go many different ways, and people might, there might be need for many different types of consultants, subcontractors, different types of technology providers in the plan. And that's really where you're going, whoever's going to do this, we need it, right? And everyone else needs it, to have a group of experts that you can call on, both to put the plans together as well as to execute the plans afterwards. So there's a number of options out there. There's at least 2 organizations that are offering peer group masterminds around CDAP that I know of. This is something that we're very aware of. We know that it's not just getting certified, it's not just taking it out to the market, but it's also in actually doing the plans, right? You got to deliver, and doing these plans might be, it requires this collaboration typically with other people to do it. So that's where we see people really needing help, is to make this faster, to have some templates put in place, to do some collaboration with people, learning about different areas that may not be in your area of expertise, right? So, for us, because we know how to do CRM, maybe we would partner with somebody who, if one of the outcomes or one of the deliverables for a plan that we design is, hey, we need to do some infrastructure work. Like, we can't do anything until, their cybersecurity is taken care of. Like, that needs to be project number 1. That's not something we do, right? We would need to partner with, someone to be able to deliver that, even to price it out, and even to put it in a project plan. We would need to bring expertise in, because that's not our area of expertise. So getting involved with a group of people is going to really be important. It's not something that we run directly, but like I said, there's a number of groups out there, and I think that will just grow over time. I know there's one called the Channel Partner Alliance, and there's another one called the Digital Maturity Advisors, and they're out of Alberta, I believe. So there's 2 options on that piece. Okay. So I just delivered a whole bunch of information to you, right? I hope you don't find it overwhelming. And some people have said that in the past, that it's just like a lot to do. But it's really worthwhile. It's not only from a revenue perspective, but really it is from a business growth. And you're going to be helping your clients grapple with how they can compete, and not only locally, but internationally. How do they compete? Well, they need to have these digital adoption plans and some training and some thinking in this area that maybe they haven't had before. And that's what you're going to be able to bring to the table for them. So, the way that we help, if you don't mind, I'll just share that really quickly. And if you're interested, we can have another conversation about it. We do offer support in doing the certification work if you need it. So if you've done digital transformation in the past, but you haven't done it so that it is compliant with what CDAP is offering, we can help you to do that, right? To go back and kind of reverse engineer it, and maybe add in some of the additional pieces that you need in order to be ready, okay, to be able to submit that to in the process. We certainly can support you if you're thinking of how to take it out to the market. And we have a couple of different options there that are very cost effective, that our clients really like. And, certainly willing to talk to you a little bit about that if you're interested. And then we certainly are willing to talk a little bit about the delivery piece and how you get connected into some of these peer groups at the back end to help you with the delivery. So that's what we are up to. The last thing that I will talk about is if you are thinking about, how do I take this out to my clients? One thing that we've been offering to work with people on is a granting program. So it's a different one, called the Canada Job Grant. So we've been introducing that to a number of our clients, and it helps to reduce the cost of doing this promotion piece of it, okay, quite substantially. So if you want to know more about that, I'm happy to have that conversation. So I think we're kind of done. Any questions about that? I can go certainly into a little bit more detail if you want to, about how it works and what it does. But, usually these guys, it makes more sense usually if this is tweaking your interest, just to have a one-on-one conversation with us, because every organization is a little different and everybody's at a different spot. So if you need help, if you don't need help, if you just want to find out more about the granting programs, happy to do that. Okay. And happy to share that information with you, just as a follow-up. So I think we're pretty much kind of done. Oh yeah, the Canada Job Grant. If you're familiar with it, it covers 83%, here in Ontario, it does anyways, 83% of the cost of training. And then we apply that training towards your implementation and your promotion and the CDAP piece as well, by the way. So it's really a great program. It really reduces risk and cost for anybody in the channel. If this you think can help you, let me know, right? We have, go to the Canada Job Grant or just send us a quick email, and we'll set a time to see how this works, right? So we had a question from Tom about how the billing is done for the $15,000. This is for the CDAP plan, right, Tom? I think that you're talking about. When a client goes into the portal, they do their application, they do the digital needs assessment. Once they have done that and they've been approved, then they can go out to you, contract, get the plan done. As soon as the plan is finished, they upload it into the portal and then the government pays them. All right. So that is how it works. However long it takes you to get that plan done will determine how long they get, it takes for them to get the reimbursement. So this is all on your clients to do it, and you have to kind of hold their hand a little bit, but most people are pretty good with it. Obviously, they're going to get the $15,000 back. So as soon as you deliver this plan, well, they submit it and they get the reimbursement. Okay. So it's 90% up, 90% of the total up to $15,000, which is why you would want to price it at around $17,000, $18,000 so that they get the full $15,000 back. Okay. So Naresh asked if you can get this PowerPoint. Yes, absolutely, for sure. Just let me know. We're definitely going to make a copy of this video available. I'll definitely be posting that to everyone who came on the call today. And if you want the presentation, I'm happy to share that with you too. Okay. So let me know. We are happy. We're here. We have been working with a number of people in the channel on this, and we think this is just an exciting opportunity for the people who already are having technology-based conversations with clients to add this strategic digital adoption program on top of that. It really is going to open the door for many other things for you. And, I think it'll be a huge area of growth for your business. So hopefully that was useful. Hopefully it was helpful today. I would say thank you. And I apologize again for that technical difficulty at the beginning, but hopefully you got everything that you needed today. Okay. And I look forward to continuing the conversation. If there's anything else, let me know. You know how to reach me. I have my email. You know how to reach me on LinkedIn. So we want to say thank you. Have a good day, everyone.